Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Another paid request. It's time for Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Joseph wanted me to talk about a music album from the Cars called Heartbreak City. And this is their 5th album. And I thought this was pretty good. There weren't too many songs that I disliked in this. I like some of the guitar work, some of the synthesizer work. Came out around 1984, give or take. Might have liked this even a bit more than the previous album he had me review on the Cars. And there's definitely some songs in here that I've heard before, mainly Magic and You Might Think. Like Magic with the guitar and the synth. I know I've heard this song before quite a few times. You know, she turns me upside down, down, down. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Just very nice beat to it. You know, back to the day, you're a kid, go with your mom to the grocery store, and it's on the radio that they're playing those speakers, you're listening to it, and okay, not too bad, or we lived far away from where we needed to go to get groceries and stuff, so sometimes it'd be like a 40-minute trip, so you listen to the radio a lot, and a lot of rock songs like this would play. Same with You Might Think. You might think I'm crazy on my own. Or you might think I'm crazy hanging out with you. But I think that you're wild. So probably those songs spoke out the most. Because again, when there's familiarity in it, brings back a little bit of nostalgia memory from hearing it when you were a kid. And then like, oh wow, I haven't heard that song in a while. I don't want to say it's like favorite songs ever, then I'm going to go out and buy the CD or I'm going to listen to them over and over again. But I'm like, okay, remember that having a nice beat to it, nice rhythm to it. Other songs, Hello Again. I thought I had some nice electronic keyboard. Oh, at first it sounded like if a keyboard was burping. But it did have like this energetic synth feel to it. Some nice guitar. Even had a little bit of, seemed like a whistling flute to it. So I will say the songs at least seem a bit unique, off the beaten path. Same with Looking for Love. Here she comes, looking for love. Again, synth rock with guitar, some unique sounds to it. So, I might be much more into like AC/DC and that type of rock. But like I said, this had a nice unique feel to it. Drive. I thought that one had a nice melody to it. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? I'm not even gonna try to sing. I can't sing for shit. But that was a decent one. Stranger Eyes. That one seemed like try to have a little bit more edge to it with some guitar and drumming. Although they had this weird musical keyboard bit to it that I wish it didn't have. I don't know how to describe it because I'm not that musically inclined. I'm not good in explaining instruments and how they all work and such. For me, for a song, I'm pretty basic. Either I like it or I don't. It sounded good or it don't. It's hard for me to put into words in a review. But yeah, I don't know how to describe this. This little keyboard motif on that song that, if it didn't have that, I thought it would have been better. I mean, I didn't love every song. It's Not the Night. I thought it was pretty meh compared to the others. It's not that it was awful, but just kind of in one ear, out the other. Why Can't I Have You was interesting because it felt like a slower paced song, a little bit more eased down, a little bit more moody, with lyrics like, you know what I'm going through, breaking my heart into, why can't I have you? I'm sitting there going, is it going to lead to him murdering someone? Because there have been some country songs I've been listening to for requests that leads to them murdering their wives, so but I don't think that was the case in this. The title track, Heartbeat City, or was it Heartbeat or Heartbreak City? God, I think my shitty writing, I fucked up at what the title was. So it was Heartbreak City or Heartbeat City? I think Heartbreak City. Heartbeat City doesn't make sense. Heartbreak City. It was experimental. It wasn't really for me. There was much melody to it. It sounded very somber. I can appreciate them trying to do something different with that. Some people may like that, but I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Maybe it was just a bit too experimental for my taste. Like I said, I definitely think in this album the two best ones was Magic and You Might Think. Not too long of an album if you listen to the whole thing. It's like 38 minutes long. And there weren't really any songs I outright hated. I didn't... Probably It's Not the Night. I think there was one called I Refuse. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. But the others, again, whether the keyboard, the synthesizer worked, whether some nice guitar, decent voice on the singer, some nice beats. I just see why Magic, You Might Think, became sort of the bigger hits, because those are ones that got much more of a memorable beat to it, that you can maybe nod your head if you're on listen to the radio or such. In a weird way, Magic and You Might Think kind of a little bit more upbeat songs. So I guess that kind of fit in their realm. But overall, yeah, I didn't mind the album. Like I say, I might like it more than the previous album I reviewed. So, like I say, it might not be a band that I put in my top 10 favorites or listen to them over and over again, but overall, pretty decent album. Pretty decent album. So, but I wouldn't say there's a song that made me go, oh my god, I absolutely love this. I listened to it 2-3 times in a row, repeat. But definitely efficient. So with that said, because if I keep going, I'd just be repeating myself. Thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Joseph, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.